5 words that will lead your life to good luck. Do you know a person called Hitoshi Saito? The taxpayer is Japan's #1 millionaire, and his quotes are often the cutouts that make life very enjoyable. So this time I would like to introduce you to Saito sayings. Are you interested in Hitoto Saito sayings to make your life enjoyable and successful? Habits change life. Successful people have good words. Those who fail have a bad word. It's scary because it alone determines your life. The word twisty makes you absolutely happy. Please tell me again and again. The more you laugh, the better things will happen one after another. Quotation mark. This is one of the most famous quotes of Hitoto Saito. I know that people who say casually what they say are not only people around them, but that they actually have a considerable psychological impact when they tell themselves, so always think of negative things. People have such a habit of direction, and there are places where they can easily feel stress and accelerate it. In other words, on the contrary, a person who has what is called a good habit that has a positive direction can have a positive influence on his or her mind by making self-implications, and that habit around it can be said that the person who listens to has a positive impression on the person by feeling a sense of security and a healing atmosphere. It's a habit, but it's a habit, and if you're really happy just by being aware of such little things, why not give it a try? Hitoto Saito's wise quote is a wise quote that teaches you how these good and bad habits can make your life happy. Compared to the past. It's no good compared to people. I always look at myself and see how much I've risen from the starting point. Compared to people, it's a lot of fun. This Saito Kazuto's quote is something that everyone in the group who lives under stress every day should definitely know. One of the major reasons why people have stress is that they judge their current situation to be bad. Then, what is the basis for many people to judge that the current situation is not good? It is quite established and it is judged compared to someone else. Are you wondering if that person is like this or usually it is more like that? When I say that that person or ordinary that I compare to is really an objective and reasonable target for comparison with myself, it is not so much. Nobody in the world is exactly the same, and no matter how many people are walking around the world, or who know about the vast world, it's just normal or common sense for that person. That's why it can be said that there is no one who can be said to be really more appropriate than the past one, and in order to live a happy life, it is always necessary to think about changes that are objective and calm compared to the past one. It's important to say that this is Hitoto Saito's quote. The power of katodama to improve greetings. What is charm? That's your smile, and the caring words you speak. If you keep that in mind, the gods of the world will support you. It's strange because everything goes well. Quotation mark. This is a quote that talks about what a person's charm is, and what makes a person attractive. It's a wise quote that teaches you how to be an attractive person. The first point is a smile. The expression "you can laugh at too much fear" is actually correct, and a smile has the effect of directly acting on the human instinct to deprive hostility. Evidence of this is that the baby feels momentary horror by the action of high and expensive or not vain even if no one teaches him, and when he panics, he laughs so as not to have a hostile intention to himself is. Therefore, it seems that people with a lot of smiles are fascinated by everyone and can easily become hatred characters, which is attractive. Another point is compassionate words. There is no such thing in the world that it can be transmitted without saying it, and in order to clearly convey feelings and thoughts to the other person, it is still best to convey it by words and actions, and people who can speak compassionate words to others is said to be loved by many people. This quote makes it easy to understand the factors that seem to be attractive to such people without the reason why it is difficult, and makes it easy to accept with a light feeling as if you should try it. It can be said that this is a very useful quote. How to get rid of scary feelings. When I can say, "I'm a professional," this is commonplace. This is a quote that tells us how we can make people feel no feeling of scary, which is a very big factor that makes people not enjoy life. The thing I want you to pay the most attention to in this quote is when you can say it. Just as Japan has had the idea of the katodama for a long time, saying words has a strong influence on the mind of the person who said it, and even if it was a strong attitude at first, do it or do it. There is a place that makes me feel that I have to do it. And by saying that I'm a special person called professional, I want to strengthen the feeling that I can do it and I must do it. You don't have to think about it, so you can get rid of fear. Have you ever experienced that I can't stand behind after saying it, or I have no choice but to do it? However, at that time, it is strange that there are many things that you can do that you wouldn't normally do, or that you can do better than you think. Human beings are made as timid creatures in the first place, so it is natural to be cautious and careful, but there is also a place where you cannot even do what you can do if you feel scared, narrowing the options of what you can do. Feeling it is also something that makes you feel good stress. For that reason, this quote is a good quote to teach you how to blow away feelings that can be a hindrance to enjoying a life that is scary. Correctly reopening. In life, it is important to reopen. Reopening is not a bad word. Reopening means opening the closed heart and straightening the bent heart. This is called reopening. Quotation mark. This quote is a quote that explains the word reopen and teaches you how to reopen to really enjoy life. The author personally thought that this Hitoto Saito's quote was the most I see, and when I try to think like this, the word reopen is a good word, I think. It can be said that the word reopening in the sense that you usually imagine is lacking in fixing in this quote, so it may be said that it opens up. For example, the lid of a box containing something stinky is distorted and the smell comes out, so even if I try to fix it, even if I remove the lid, if I keep opening the lid, the smell will just leak. However, if you distort things forcibly, it will be difficult to tighten, so if you cannot fix it, the situation will get worse. If you think so, it can be said that it will not be wrong because it cannot be fixed by keeping open, and it can be thought that the situation in life will not improve because it cannot be fixed. That is why it can be said that Hitoto Saito's quote is not a phrase that keeps it open, but it is a quote that teaches us to fix it properly and reopen it. Summary. How were the 5 sayings of Mr. Saito? Since he is a person who has a very unique view of the world or an idea, most of the people in his book should think, I see, I can do that kind of thinking, or if you say so, is. If you are interested in such thoughts this time, please read the book as well.